Good afternoon, everybody. Going to get started with the before market close video. As I mentioned, going to be doing today's video obviously a little earlier than normal. Usually I do it about 30 minutes before the market closes, but wanted to come on and get the video out a little bit earlier today because I do have an appointment I got to run to. But hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Happy Monday. I was in Banff with my girlfriend this weekend, so that was a lot of fun. We went hiking on Tunnel Mountain, visited Banff and Canmore, and stopped in Calgary as well. But yeah, it was a great road trip, great hiking trip, lots of great weather. Wasn't too cold, so that was a positive as well. But I'm going to get started with the before market close video, and if anybody does have any ticker requests, as always, just let me know inside of Slack, inside of the community thread. And I know we have some new people joining the community, so usually I post it over in Market Stocks. And if you just click on here and then reply in thread, it's a little different on mobile. You have to hold your finger over the message, and then another menu will come up and it'll say reply in thread. But if there's already a thread created, you can just click on the reply here and it will open on the side. And then same thing with on the mobile, you can click on the replies and then just put your ticker and the exchange in there, please, so that I have everything in that thread and it's easy to organize and that keeps the main channels clean. But we'll get into some ticker requests here at the end. We'll do a quick market update as per usual, and then we'll jump into some ticker requests. As I see, we have a couple of posts in there already. So we'll get started with that here in just a moment, but we'll take a look at the crypto space. So at the moment, everything is in 15-minute downtrends except for XRP. XRP is standing out as one of the leaders of the pack. It's actually a 15-minute bull flag at the moment. So Bitcoin on the weekly time frame is a weekly inside bar, so we're just tightening up. Still in a weekly uptrend, most important factor, but we will be watching for a potential head and shoulders here. So we have the left shoulder, head, and then we'll be looking for a potential right shoulder. And if that does happen, we'll be looking for a drop down to roughly that 786 and between the 618 and 786, which is the golden pocket. That'd bring us down to around 18,000. Wouldn't be surprised if we drop down to that level whatsoever, because if we zoom out on the monthly time frame, we still haven't started monthly consolidation. So if we lose 21,366, we start monthly consolidation and we look for a higher low compared to 15,460. So we still be yet to confirm a monthly uptrend. So would not be surprised in the least if we drop down to around $20,000 to $18,000 and we look for a monthly higher low and then attempt a monthly trend change with a higher low and higher high. Need that higher low followed by a higher high to be back in a monthly uptrend. But if we take a look at, like I said, at XRP here on the 15-minute time frame is standing out as one of the leaders of the pack. We are expecting a verdict in summary judgment, so we should see a judgment here at some point before the end of March. That is what the consensus and what most analysts and lawyers are saying, that we should see some sort of verdict here before the end of the month. And also Judge Annalisa Torres, if she doesn't submit a verdict by the end of this month, she'll be on a late list with regards to courts and things like that. So she's never been on a late list before, so that would usually indicate that we should see a verdict at some point this month. And we're starting to see price action really start to ramp up, so that's great to see. But if we take a look at the 15-minute time frame, we did start consolidation here. Not much. We did test some consolidation here a few hours ago, but not much. If we take a look at the measured move here, we are still a potential 15-minute bull flag. So if we take a look at the measured move there from low to high, move that out to our 0.382, and we move that out. It's targeting about 37.7 cents on the 15-minute time frame. So we are expecting a little bit more of upside, but 15-minute time frame, not too concerned about that. On the daily time frame, we are starting daily consolidation today for the second day in a row, and now we have a potential for a trend change, but pretty choppy here on the daily time frame. Wouldn't be too concerned either in the daily. The weekly time frame, this is where things start to get interesting. We have the low, high, higher low, still scouting a higher low. Not much direction. We've just been stuck in this equilibrium, and this range here from all the way down at 29 cents all the way up to the high at 43 cents. We're just ranging within that. So if we can get over 43 cents, expect some serious upside with no resistance until about 51 cents. But like I said, on the weekly and monthly time frame, that's going to be the most important. We are starting monthly consolidation, and we're just looking for a higher low compared to 28.7 cents. We have the low, high, looking for that higher low, and then a higher high to be in a monthly uptrend, just like Bitcoin. But like I said, things should start to get interesting here into the end of the month. Taking a look at the S&P 500, so we're starting the weekly bounce this week. We did last week as well, but not by much, only by about 29 cents. And then getting some serious follow through this week, and we're still in a weekly uptrend, but we are at risk of a weekly downtrend now on the S&P 500. If we form this lower high and a lower low, then that's going to indicate a weekly downtrend and then likely further monthly consolidation. But again, just like Bitcoin, just like a lot of our names, we're looking for monthly uptrends to confirm. So we have the low, high, we're starting monthly consolidation, so we're scouting a monthly high or low, and then a higher high to be confident that the bottom is in. And this could be an inverse head and shoulders as well, like I've been saying, with the left shoulder head, right shoulder, and that would bring us up to all-time highs if we do confirm somewhere around the 480s. And like I said, we need to confirm that monthly higher low and higher high. We'll be confident that the monthly higher low is set once we change the weekly trend. So once we confirm a weekly uptrend on this monthly consolidation, we'll be confident that the monthly higher low is set, and we're likely heading back up towards resistance. DXY, it's a monthly inside bar, so it'll be very telling if this breaks bullish. If we break resistance, key resistance at 105.35, that'll be a level to watch, because that'll spell a lot of turbulence and headwinds and likely weakness for stocks and crypto. So all about 105.35 on the dollar. If we break that, we start the monthly bounce, and that will likely result in weakness in stocks and crypto. But then we are expecting just a monthly lower high compared to 114.77, and that could potentially confirm a monthly downtrend if we get that lower high and lower low. That would be short-term bearish for stocks and crypto. But if we just anticipate a lower high being set, a lower high will be set once we lose the weekly uptrend, and then or confirm a weekly downtrend, and then we'll be looking for a lower low to confirm that monthly downtrend, and then in the medium to long term, that'll be extremely bullish for stocks and crypto, right? If we confirm that monthly downtrend, because we know the dollar has been extremely strong, and we likely can expect that inverse correlation to continue, because that's usually the case, and we could be heading down towards monthly oversold, but am not expecting monthly oversold anytime soon. Obviously, that's a very large indicator time frame, so we'll be looking at potential weekly oversold for a bottom to be set on the DXY. Gold and silver, so just looking for a weekly higher low after months of no consolidation. No major red flags here whatsoever. On the monthly time frame, we are starting monthly consolidation on both of them as well. Silver already seeing significant monthly consolidation, so a little bit of an indicator and clue that we could see more downside for gold and the rest of our risk-on assets. So Tesla had some news today. They were recalling, just bring it up here. So Tesla recalls 3,470 Model Y vehicles over loose bolts. So that's Powell Odd Flex said that, this is probably the first time this has ever been related to a hardware issue, not software. I would agree with that. They also slashed the prices of their high-end Model S and Model X EVs. But yeah, that's something, not a huge number, 3,470, not the biggest concern there in the world. But like I said, definitely some negative news, but not really moving the price too much. We did start daily consolidation today, losing the low of Friday, so support was 192.88. We hit 192.30. Not seeing much follow through, but we are no longer in a daily uptrend. We had the low, high, higher low, and higher high, but we lost that daily uptrend. But we haven't confirmed a downtrend yet with the lower high and lower low. So key support now is going to be 186.01. If we lose that, we confirm a daily downtrend. We could be heading to daily oversold after a big move from down at all the way at 101 all the way up to 217. So when we have that big of a move, right, when we're up 112%, 113% in a little over a month, then you can expect some serious pullback, but a couple months actually. But we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, so this is just healthy in my opinion, but don't be surprised from here. If we take a look at the low to the high, anything over 171 is a weekly bull flag. So if we confirm that as support, we would likely be targeting up around the 375 area. And in order to confirm, we would need to hold 171 and then come back up and break 217 to get that confirmation. But we're not in a weekly uptrend yet. Usually bull flags are bullish continuation patterns. So it's still possible. The psychological mindset is still there and the psychology is still there, but we're not as confident because we're not in a weekly uptrend. But key support is going to be 171. And we'll be confident that the weekly higher low is set once we change the daily trend. In terms of bull and bears on the list today, we have CLOV, DPRO, and IMV. And on the bull list, we have Snap, MVMD, and RUM, all up double digits, over double digits. In terms of crypto on the day today, we have HEX, HP, and LBC token leading the decline. On the bull list, we have NDA, DMGI, and Cell token. In terms of earnings today, wasn't really much notable earnings to go over today. In terms of tomorrow, not really much on the cusp tomorrow either. There's not really much this week, to be honest. We do have Village Farms from the cannabis space on Thursday pre-market. JD.com pre-market as well. But yeah, nothing really expected to move the needle this week. We have Oracle after market close and DocuSign on Thursday. So there will be some notable ones there for later on in the week. In terms of Canadian MJ on the bull and bear list today, we have NXTTF, huge, leading the bull list, and on the decline we have XTRX, WIB, and PWR, followed by Love. Love continues to get destroyed after the reverse split, so it was a 1 for 10. We dropped all the way down to 60 cents after that. I did add on that low. I think I filled around 75 or 80 cents, but we'll look to potentially add 1 or 2 more times. It's not a lot of liquidity in this ticker right now, but I am bullish in the long term. So CGC dangerously close to its 52-week low. And weekly inside bar on Tilray. CGC weekly inside bar. So all the leaders in the space. Hexo starting weekly consolidation is a little bit of a clue that we may see that in the other names as well, but those other names held up a lot better because of the fact that Hexo has ran a lot more in the short term. So you can see Hexo off the low there at 90 cents is up about 105%, similar to the amount of gains that Tesla's had in the same time period. But that came after the 1 for 14 reverse split, and we're still in a weekly uptrend. So we have the low, high, higher low, and higher high. Anything over 132 on this weekly consolidation is just a higher low, and this would be healthy in my opinion. So as long as 132 USD holds on the NASDAQ, we're still in a weekly uptrend and still no major red flags on Hexo. But notably stronger compared to peers because CGC still is yet to confirm a weekly uptrend, and same with Tilray. And a lot more pullback from the highs there, down about 23%. Hexo actually probably around the same, not too far off. Yeah, about 15%. We do have earnings coming up for next week. So tentative for the 16th. But we'll want to see official confirmation from Hexo. Watch for positive adjusted EBITDA. We know Aurora and OGI, Organogram, have been a little bit of a clue that we could potentially see Hexo up next. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye out for. In terms of US MJ today on the bull and bear list, we have LOWL, FIT, and BAM leading the bull side. And on the bear side, we have Ian, Halo, and KGKG. In terms of MSOS, we are bouncing on the daily time frame now for the 3rd day in a row. So bulls have a ton of room now to start looking for a higher low to form. So if we do lose key support there at 674, we'll start daily consolidation, and bulls have about 6% of room to form a daily higher low. Once we confirm a daily uptrend, then we zoom out to the weekly bounce to continue, and then we look for a weekly trend change. So we have the low, high, we're scouting a higher low. If we break 725 from here, we'll be in a weekly uptrend, and then we just zoom out to the next time frame, the monthly. We watch for the monthly bounce to get underway, and then we look for a monthly trend change. But again, I've been saying that MSOS could be a monster swing trade here. If we break above 736, there's no resistance until about 100% of upside from there. So you could buy this thing. If we break, get not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, do your own research. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but it could be a nice swing opportunity if we break over 736. You could set your stop below $6, very low risk. Even if you entered now, you're risking about 10 to 12% to make upwards of 50 to 100%. So nice risk to reward the opportunity there with MSOS. Traded on the U.S. major exchange as well, so it's a little bit different, a little bit more volume and things like that. So this thing could really move once we get moving. Hey Alicia, so Alicia would like to take a look at Cureleaf on the OTC. Just had earnings last week, so we'll take a look. You want to look at the OTC ticker, so CURLF. Just had earnings last week. I think it's due to report earnings. Maybe you mean they're reporting earnings. So I just posted about that. So March 28th. Yeah, so it's not until March 28th that they report. Just make sure, yeah, Cureleaf just had earnings last week, so yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, it's tentative, says here March 23rd, or no, it says Monday, March 6th. Huh. Get some conflicting information to report fourth quarter and fiscal year end 2022 financial operation results for period ending December 31st before market open on March 28th. And yeah, there's no results here, but estimate is 353.988 million, and estimate for EPS is negative 0.03, but very bullish on this name long term. We know that Boris Johnson, the chairman and executive chairman and founder, said that they paid $330 billion with a B under 280E tax code to the U.S. government, and they would already be paying a dividend if not for that tax code. And he said that he believes that MJ companies are going to be extremely high-paying dividend companies. So eventually we'll go from growth to value investing, and we'll start to reap the rewards of long-term investing in these names, right? Very speculative at the moment, very, very high risk, but eventually I think there's going to come a time where, you know, once reform sets in, these companies are going to be some of the cream of the crop, right? We just got to find the Coca-Cola of the weed industry, essentially. But extremely bullish on Cureleaf. But yeah, expecting earnings on before market open on March 28th. But in terms of the daily time frame, very similar to MSOS, bouncing for the third day in a row. Actually, it was the fourth day in a row. Now we pulled back quite a bit, and we're potentially testing the low of Friday. On the weekly time frame, just like MSOS, low, high, we'll be scouting a higher low and a higher high to get a weekly uptrend to confirm, and then we'll look for the monthly bounce. So again, very similar to MSOS, charts look pretty much identical. So we'll be looking for this monthly inside bar. It's actually two monthly inside bars in a row, so a break will be imminent. Key support is 403, support is at 357. If we lose 357, we continue monthly consolidation. And if we break resistance there at 403, that's going to be an inside bar, multiple inside bar bull break and monthly bounce underway. So 403, if you enter at a break of 403, that could be a monster swing trade as well. If we break that resistance, we have no resistance again, just like MSOS, for about 100%. So this could be a monster swing trade. You could set your stop under the low there at 331. So essentially from current levels, you're risking, again, just like MSOS, we're risking about 10 to 15% to make upwards of 50 to 100%. So great risk to reward opportunity and great time to be adding this, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but if we take a look at CURLF, so we're still finding resistance at the 10-week moving average. We got above it here, but then we got knocked back down. So we're still looking for a weekly and monthly trend change once we confirm monthly uptrends across the sector, not just in Cureleaf, but across the sector in, you know, Canadian MJ, American MJ producers, retailers, ETFs. Then we'll be confident that the bottom is in. But we are seeing an uptick in volume. We could see a bull cross of the MACD and the stochastic. And if we close over 389 this week, that'll be extremely bullish, and we'll see a bull cross on both those stochastic and MACD macros as well. So that'd be great to see. We did get the bear cross out of the way in terms of the weekly moving averages as well. So that's a positive sign. And we have nothing nearby until, actually that's on the Canadian ticker side. So I'll update that real quick here for you. Yeah, so nothing nearby until 544, the 50 weekly. And then on the daily time frame, we got very, very close to a golden cross here with the 50-day crossing through the 200, but we never went above it. And we got above it. We tried to back test it and confirm, but the cross never occurred. See what happened here? We got above it. We came back. We back tested, held it as support, and then we broke to a higher high. Once we broke to a higher high, that was your go signal to enter bullish, right? Because we confirmed, we had the back test, we confirmed it as support. Then we got our follow through from the golden cross. We broke to a higher high. Even if you entered there at $7, went all the way up to $18, so over 100%, but 150% of upside. Then we had the death cross with the 50 above the 200. We came back, we confirmed it as resistance, and we broke to a lower low. That was your signal to go short there at 1065-ish, and then we went all the way down to $3. Now we're looking for these bull crosses again. But finding resistance there at the 50-day moving average at 390, if we can close a daily candle, 2 or 3 daily candles over that, we'll be confident in that no longer is resistance. And then we have nothing nearby until about $4.85, $5 psychological, which also lines up with the 100 and 200-day moving average. So like I said, watch for a potential multiple monthly inside bar bull break for a monster swing trade. You could enter at 403 if you're a little bit more conservative and patient. You could wait for a break of 440. Again, the longer you wait, the less return you're going to get. So with less risk comes less reward. With more risk comes higher reward. So you need to determine if you're going to use a lower dollar volume amount, right? If you use a lot less dollar volume, then you can probably handle a little bit more risk, right? So hopefully that helps. Maxie says, I just joined the community a week ago. I'm transferred from Zenabis to Hexo, and Rod, I'm impressed with your interaction and forum videos. I'm in for the long haul, checking in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Maxie. Welcome to the community. And Leisha says, welcome, Frederick. Can't wait to hear all about your insights regarding this industry. It's really nice to hear you're in for the long haul as a Hexo employee. Absolutely. So, I've been covering Hexo since really August of 2020. I started my channel in 2018, but really didn't start going full time. Like it was just a part-time thing. I wasn't really that comfortable going on. Wasn't that great at public speaking. Wasn't that comfortable going on, on video and things like that. So I really started in August of 2020. And yeah, I know tons of people who work for Hexo, tons of people who work for Renican, Zenabis. And, it's been a turbulent couple of years. It's been a rough couple of years. But we know that consolidation and mergers and acquisitions, consolidation was needed in the space, and it's not just Hexo. Tons of companies are experiencing, even the profitable ones, right? Your GTIs of the world, Green Thumb, right? So they're down 70-80% from all-time highs, and they're profitable. So it's not about profitability, not about unprofitability. It's not about whether they're laying people off, hiring people. Doesn't matter what any company's doing in the MJ space. The average MJ company is down 70 to 80% plus from February 2021 highs. But yeah, if you're just joining the community, it is a little bit, takes a little bit to get used to around here, but it is pretty slick once you get the hang of it. Like I said, we have different channels for different topics. So if you have anything cannabis related, you can go over to Market Cannabis. If you've got anything commodities related, you go over to the commodities channel, crypto. Most of our channel is focused 80% on MJ. That's what we specialize in, and then the rest is mostly in crypto, interviews, product reviews, things like that. But most of it is in the cannabis space. And then we got different channels as well. You got MJ News if you're interested in the POW Algo Alert Service as well. You can get added to that. You can just go to powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com to sign up for that. But we also email those alerts out as well. So not only do you get it as part of the community here as a separate private channel, you get it as emailed to you as well. And then we have different news channels. A lot of this I have set up to automatically fetch news articles. So we can post in here manually, but a lot of these are automatic fetching. So these aren't posted by anybody. It's just a bot in the background that goes and fetches it from, MJ Biz Daily. It goes from Leafly. It goes from all different sorts of sources and publishers. And then it publishes it in here. Same thing with commodities, same thing with crypto, same thing with general news, real estate, all that stuff. So like I said, I started off by using this community just as my own tool. It was a way to keep a journal of everything I did and an encyclopedia. And then, like I said, utilizing all these news articles as well and channels. Basically, I don't even have to check any news channels anymore. It's just all within this one big umbrella and within this private community, right? And then obviously we do we do videos each day. It's now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 30 minutes before the close. I come on and I do a private member-only live stream where you can request tickers, but I do a market update just before the market close to give everybody some ideas into the end of the day and then into tomorrow. Speaking of which, I did transfer some more of my RRSPs. So I'm in mutual funds. I've got a slew of different investments, right? I've got mutual funds. I've got MJ stocks, right? I've got some select utility altcoins for crypto in my portfolio. I'm not holding any Bitcoin, not holding any Ethereum. I've completely sold out of those. A couple of years ago when we were near 50,000 on Bitcoin, I think we were somewhere around 2,000 or 3,000 on Ethereum. No interest in holding those until they crash, 70, 80%. But even then, I think there's a lot more opportunity with the altcoins, specifically, your XRPs, your XLMs, your algos, your HBARs, your quants, and your links of the world. So that's what I'm focusing on. And then I've got my real estate portfolio, right? I've been focusing on the Edmonton condo market. I'm actually looking at another potential real estate property here in the condo market in Edmonton. I might go look at that later this week. sold for 165,000 in 2013, and they're asking 65,000 for it. So I might even be able to get it for like 55, 60,000. So great potential investment there. And I've been also doing Airbnb. So I've got my hands full with a lot of different things, diversified, not just in MJ, not just one MJ stock. I own a mix of MJ producers in the US and Canada, retailers, ETFs, and then I'm diversified across other sectors as well, like crypto. I've got, my real estate portfolio, my mutual funds. So my mutual funds, I'm like 98, I would say 99% in money market, which is just basically cash and cash equivalents. So you're very, very low risk. So if SPY were to tank and the broader market were to tank from here and go down to levels that we haven't seen in many, many years, like I think we're going to, and follow this .com fractal, if we go down to, low 200s from current levels, that's about a 40 to, 50% of drop from here. That would likely mean that aggressive mutual funds would likely go down, probably double that. So I'm just trying to protect against market volatility. I've got my risk, I've also got a short position on the S&P 500 through SPXS that I continue to enter and sell. I get in and I sell it for a profit, and then I average down on some of my MJ stocks, crypto positions, things like that. But what I'm trying to do is I've also got a six-figure cash position as well. So if we continue to drop on MJ and crypto and in the real estate market, things like that, I'm using that cash reserves for rainy day and to continue to dollar cost average and entering opportunities when they present themselves. I've also got a short position on the SPXS on SPY. So if SPY goes down, my short position goes up. So I'm betting that it's going to go down. That's also a hedge against my long-term investments like MJ, crypto, and real estate. And like I said, I've got my mutual funds where the majority, I think it's around 99% now, is in money market funds. So if the S&P 500 were to drop 40%, a money market fund may only drop like 5%, right? Versus if you're in a balanced portfolio or an aggressive portfolio, could drop 50 to 80%, right? So I'm just protecting against that market volatility. That's my retirement account. So I've transferred more of that over today, and I'm going to be looking to just stay in that money market fund for the foreseeable future, likely until we get down to max pain here on the S&P 500, likely monthly oversold. And like I said, if we take a look at any history of the .com days, that's the most accurate representation of what we were experiencing this time. We had the monthly bearish hidden RSI divergence where we had lower highs and lower lows on the RSI, relative strength index. We were overbought, and then we went to oversold on the monthly time frame. So we had lower highs and lower lows, and higher highs and higher lows on the price action. So we had that hidden bearish RSI divergence. The RSI peaked in 96, and then 4 years later, the price peaked, and then we went to monthly oversold. Look at how similar this is. Higher lows and higher highs on the price, lower highs and lower lows on the RSI. We peaked in 2018, and 4 years later, the price peaked. So we're seeing the exact same thing play out pretty much, and we could be heading to monthly oversold. But the reason why I think it's taking longer this time and why we're seeing more of a bounce is because of the manipulation, right? We still have yet to see Congress being banned from owning stocks. Watch that to be a potential top indicator before heading to monthly oversold. We know the Federal Reserve, banned themselves from owning stocks back here at all-time highs. Of course, they didn't ban themselves at all-time lows because they're crooks. They should be behind bars. And they're not going to ban themselves at all-time lows because they're crooks, right? So now that the market's starting to correct, watch for Congress to continue to be crooks and pretty much the highest level of insider trading in the world, right? They're drafting laws that benefit companies like Tesla, and they're allowed to own companies like Tesla. Like a monkey could figure out that shouldn't be allowed. Even ETFs is quite controversial for them to be able to own. I don't think they'd be able to, any elected official or any kind of bureaucrat, right? Even your Gary Gensler's of the world, he wasn't elected, he was appointed, and he's a bureaucrat, and he's drafting laws for securities, and it's just complete ludicrous. You shouldn't be able to, if you're in Congress or if you're in any three-letter agency that has to do with enforcing or creating laws, you shouldn't be able to own stocks or any kind of equities or ETFs, anything like that. In my opinion, it's just borderline criminal, and it just shouldn't happen. It's just doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So watch for, and then not only that, the Federal Reserve has been printing trillions and trillions of dollars to prop up the market, right? So that's why I think we're seeing the market take longer to go to monthly oversold this time, and why we could even potentially go higher from here before we head to monthly oversold, right? And then watch for Congress being banned from owning stocks to mark the top, and then we should see probably at least a year or two of downside, and we could potentially enter a depression and probably one of the worst crashes in stock market history, right? So when the S&P 500 goes up 125% in a couple of years, and we're accustomed to 12% a year. When we get 10 years worth of gains in a couple of years, you need to expect a massive pullback, right? I would expect at least a 40 to 50% pullback, which would put us down in the low 200s. So not to scare anybody, that's just my honest opinion. And like I said, we're looking at that to be the case until Congress is likely banned from owning stocks. That will likely indicate market top being set. Lisa says, my bad. Sorry, no worries. No worries. We're all learning. And yeah, that's just, it's no big deal there. It's just kind of pointing that out just so that, when I do these live streams, everything's kind of in one area. So don't worry about it. It's all good. We all are new and start somewhere. So just moving on to the rest of the market here. So we're going to start wrapping it up. SPY on the daily time frame starting to pull back. So we are closing near the low with an upper wick. So we are seeing a bearish reversal candle here and potentially set for daily consolidation tomorrow. And then we'll just be looking for a daily higher low. We'll be confident that the daily higher low is set once we get back into an hourly uptrend. So I'll be about low of the day today. If the low of the day today holds at 404.01, we'll be looking for that to be support into tomorrow. If we lose that, we start daily consolidation. Once we start daily consolidation, then we look for an hourly uptrend to confirm to indicate that the daily higher low is set and that we're likely heading back up toward resistance, and then we attempt a daily trend change. Checking in on the community, not seeing any other news developments or ticker requests. So yeah, once again, thanks Alicia for your ticker. And if anybody does have any ticker requests, I'll be back on for a market update on Wednesday. And yeah, welcome to the group, Maxi. And yeah, better days ahead for the MJ industry, that's for sure, in my opinion. Never been more confident in the space, Hexo specifically as well. Definitely one of my favorite MJ companies out there. Definitely no shortage of risks with it. But as long as you're not risking any more than you're willing to lose, as long as you're diversified, not just in the MJ space through multiple MJ stocks, right? MJ producers in Canada, US, retailers, ETFs, but also in other areas as well. You can easily hedge that position with a short position on the S&P 500. We're getting into that territory where now's not a bad time to start hedging and going short on the S&P 500 to protect against those long-term investments and exposure to the long term, right? All right, going to end it there. Hope you have a great evening. We'll talk to everybody in the chat room in a few minutes. Have a great night.